Hello, Michelle Clenard here to talk to you about why it is so important to process emotions. And before the video ends, we're also going to talk a little bit about how we can do so in a way that is less overwhelming and scary and inconvenient. Okay? So, here are some reasons why it's really important to process your emotions regularly to the point of recovery. Mainly because if you don't, they get held in your body and they build up, they compound. Emotions are energy in motion. E for energy, motion, emotion. And the nature of emotion is that it must move through our physical body. Our physical body is the filter for our emotional energy. So when we don't process our emotions, it gets held up and sometimes even frozen in our body. And that can create a disconnect of communication pathways between the brain and various parts of the body, or just between different parts of the body that must communicate well in order for your body to function and feel balanced and feel good. And so processing emotions is important to restore communication connections between your brain and your body and all the parts of your body that work together in a dynamic function so that you can be well as possible. And it also restores a connection between your body and your mind, with yourself, with feeling at home in your body. And of course, even a connection, it helps restore a connection with the world around you, the people around you. Because when you feel safe and present in your body, fully connected, it's easier to show up in the world in a more connected way. Another reason it's so important to process your emotions to the point of recovery is to eliminate the buildup of emotional toxins in your body. Emotions get processed through the body, so the body is the filter. And just like every other waste product, they can become toxic if they are not eliminated from the body properly. The third reason it's so important to process your emotions is so that you can regain a sense of being in control of your emotions, of yourself, and of your life. A lot of times I hear and witness the effects of people who feel like they have no control over what happens to them, or no control over their emotions, like their emotions hijack them periodically, and that's like a pattern or a cycle that they encounter. And I've had that. I spent most of my life in that cycle, feeling like I did not even want to go there with my emotions. That's the last thing I want to do, is feel any feelings, because they hijack me. They take over, and sometimes for hours, days, even a week or weeks at a time, with big, intense, uncomfortable emotions. And so when you process them, you restore a sense of control over yourself, because you have so much power and ability to influence from the inside outward. Because control isn't about making others do something. It's really about how you can support and influence how you feel, how you respond, and how you show up for yourself and others. But when active emotions are frozen or held in the body, and those miscommunications and interruptions in the communication process between the brain and the body happen, it can actually create a felt sense of disconnection from our personal power, from our body, and from ourselves. And it can make us feel like we're at the mercy of our emotions. The fourth reason it's so important to process emotions is to restore flow. When emotions are stuck, the nervous system and the lymphatic systems that are linked to the flow of our life also become slow and sluggish and possibly stuck. And that relates directly to a feeling or a sense of being stuck in your life. And I don't think I've met anyone yet who hasn't at times felt stuck in some way. And it might be with their health, relationships, career, or their thoughts or their feelings. And that stuck feeling is associated with stuck emotions. The fifth reason it's so important to process your emotions is to improve your gut health. Yes, you heard me correctly. Your gut health is linked to emotions. Emotions can block up the works as far as elimination and digestion go, because the digestive system is the biggest processor of our emotions in terms of the physical body. Emotions can technically be held and processed from any part of the body, but the digestive system is kind of the final destination as far as moving them through and then out of the body. And repressed or suppressed emotions can actually inflame or block the body's ability to eliminate waste products, including emotions. And there's definitely a gut-brain connection in terms of emotions that are not processed can disrupt not just the microbiome, the gut health, but that in turn affects the mental health, the chemical processes and communication between the gut and the brain that determine how much and of what neurotransmitters and hormones and other biochemical processes are initiated in the brain and the body. The final reason that it is so important to process emotions, at least as far as this video is concerned, is because avoiding or suppressing emotions does not eliminate them. It just delays the discomfort. Feeling emotions, I think we can all agree, can be uncomfortable. And what kind of uncomfortable depends on the moment. It depends on the emotion, and it depends on the person. It's very subjective. But if you find emotions uncomfortable, or processing emotions uncomfortable, that's nothing in comparison to the discomfort of emotions that are long held in the body. The nature of emotions, like we talked about earlier, are that they have to move. Emotions must move, and that's how they process, is they move through and out of the body. And when they don't move, when we try to freeze them or suspend them, what happens is that they find a way out. That's just how energy works. It changes forms. If it can't move through us, it changes forms. And therefore, emotions find a way out in the form of behavior patterns, like tics, hair pulling, or other body-focused repetitive behaviors. Physical symptoms or sensations can develop. Expressing anger even when that's not the emotion that you're feeling, or other mismatched emotional reactions, like becoming emotionally reactive. They can show up and cause behavior issues, skin issues, digestive issues, pain, just unexplained random pain that comes and go, or other sensations, relationship issues, or that stuck feeling that we talked about. So avoiding it might be a temporarily more comfortable to avoid an emotion, but in the long term, it can actually cause a significant amount of more discomfort than the emotion itself over time. All right, so something that you need to know before we end this video is that processing emotions does not mean sitting with your emotions or sitting in your emotions for a prolonged period of time. There is a technique, a wholeness approach technique in the WholeCare system, which is self-care that helps with self-healing, or self-care that addresses the whole person. And emotions are part of who you are. They're part of every human being, every living thing. And this technique can actually help you in the moment when you experience them. And as a daily practice, it can actually help you reduce or unpattern your body, your nervous system, from patterns of emotion. It can help rebalance and restore communication by moving emotions through and out of your body so that you're not carrying them with you and having the effects of carrying those emotions with you. And so many of us were taught to put our feelings aside for the comfort and convenience of others, for our jobs, for strangers, even for people we care about, and we don't have a healthy outlet to express, or in this case, to process emotions, because there is a difference. And if you'd like to learn how, a technique, a tool that will help you process and recover from emotions in most of the time, 5 minutes or less. The more you practice, the faster it becomes. And then occasionally you may encounter an emotion that is so deeply rooted in your body, it's been held for so long that it might take a little longer to process it. But for the most part, this technique works in 5 minutes or less when it's practiced daily or in the moment, and it will help you actually move through your life more comfortably without having to bypass or suppress emotions just to get through the day. It will teach you a new way to cope and self-soothe and support your body on an emotional level. And it doesn't take a lot of time. It doesn't take a lot of energy. And when you learn the technique, the wholeness technique, it is WholeCare involves a community of support so that you don't have to try to figure it out on your own. Okay? If you're curious about that, there is a link to learn more or to sign up for more information. 2022, there are going to be some launches and some dates that are announced to learn this type of foundational, primal need self-care. It is something that everyone can benefit from, especially if you are stressed or stuck in a pattern of thought or behavior or feeling, or just feeling stuck in life in general. It can help you, and I would love to talk with you more about it if you need to figure out if it's right for you or something that you that could help you. You are welcome to schedule a clarity call. That's always available with no obligation and no fee. And just figure out if this is the right direction for you. You're welcome to do that, and subscribe to this channel as well as the Thrive newsletter so you can learn more and be in the know about the upcoming dates for learning more WholeCare techniques for body, mind, emotions, and energy. And I thank you for watching. If you like this video, please share it and stay tuned for the next video, which is why it is so uncomfortable to process emotions. I'll see you soon.